All right, hello 8th grade students. How are you today? Let's do a little bit more math and practice second day of volumes of cones, a little bit more guided practice. We're going to do 2 problems together is all today, just to give you an idea on how to do a little bit more in-depth problem here with volume of a cone. And like I said on the directions, make sure you read the directions for each problem on your worksheet and make sure that you complete and show all your work before submitting. All right, so example number 1, it says sketch a cone. So like some of you sketched a cone, but then you didn't label the radius and the height on the first one on your worksheet last week. So make sure that you follow everything they ask on the directions. Sketch a cone with a radius of 7 centimeters and a height of 9 centimeters. So let's first do our cone. Some will like to just do their cone like that. Maybe you want to do your cone upside down. That's fine too, whichever way you like, all right? But whichever way you do it, make sure you label it, the height and the radius. All right, so the radius, they tell us the radius is 7 centimeters, so this is 7 centimeters. The diameter would be 14 if we had to go all the way across. But just the radius is 7 centimeters. The height is 9 centimeters. Volume of a cone, 1/3, because it takes 3 cones to make a cylinder. 1/3 times the cylinder, which is pi r squared times the height. All right, volume equals 1/3 times 3.14 times the radius of 7. 7 times 7 because it's radius squared, so 7 times 7, and the height of 9. Volume equals, like I told you, if you have your scientific calculator and know how to do fractions, 1/3 times 3.14 times 7 times 7 times 9, you will end up getting 461.58. Okay, that would get you a 2. To be a 3, you need to label it, and it is centimeters cubed. Now you're a 3. Now remember, I showed you this way too. If you don't want to use the 1/3, don't go 1 divided by 3 because you'll get 0.3 repeating all through your calculator. The easiest way to do that is you can take all those numbers, 3.14 times 7 times 7 times 9, and you would get 1,384.74. If you multiplied all those, and instead of taking it times 1/3, divide it by 3, and you will get the exact same answer doing it that way. Okay? And the last one that we're going to do today before you start on your worksheet, the ice cream shop has 2 different sized ice cream cones that cost the same amount of money. Hey, you know what's good about e-learning? After this problem, if you have ice cream at home, you can go eat some. All right, so cone A has a diameter of 2 inches and a height of 6 inches. The second cone, cone B, has a diameter of 3 inches, just a little wider across the top, and a height of 3 inches, half of the other cone's height. Sketch and label each one. So we have some graph paper here to help us make this a little easier. All right, so cone A has a diameter of 2 inches. So let's suppose that each square is a square inch on this. The diameter is 2 inches. So if we go here, here's 1 inch. Here's 2 inches for the diameter. All right. How tall is it? The height is 6 inches. So we go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a tall, skinny cone. All right. So you make your oval here, or your oval, it's a circle, but it looks like it on paper like an oval, all right? And then you connect the best that you can, your sides, see there? So now you can see our height in the middle. If you go to the middle here, go up to that vertex that we drew. I'll darken that a little. And now what do we know? We know the whole diameter is 2 inches, right? So what is the radius? The radius, one of those, the radius is going to equal 1 inch. And we know the height up here, they told us it's 6 inches. All right, now let's draw and label cone B. Well, we can label this cone A. Looks like an A. It's tall and lean. All right, the second cone, cone B, has a diameter of 3 inches. So we'll go over here, go on the same line here. So 1, 2, 3. Has a diameter of 3 inches. Here's the diameter of our base. The height is 3 inches. So, well, we're going to have to go in the middle, which is kind of like right here. We're going to have to go up 3 from the middle. 1, 2, 3. There would be our vertex. So we can make our circle, our base. There we go. And then come down from our vertex. There we go. And then we know here's the middle of our circle. We know the whole diameter of this was 3 inches. So what is from this vertex to the center of our circle? We know what the height is. That is also 3 inches. And the diameter is 3. So what is the radius? What's just half of it? 3 divided by 2. You have 1.5 or 1.5 inches. Now the question is, now we'll label that cone B. The question is, which one will hold more ice cream? So if you're going in and you had to pick, do you want cone A or cone B to be filled up with ice cream? Say they're the same price. Which one would be the better deal? Which one holds more ice cream? Who wants to guess? I'll let you just write it down on your paper. What's your guess before we do the work? Just see what happens. All right, got your guess written down? All right, let's figure out the volume then of the tall cone A. Excuse me, tall cone A. Volume equals 1/3 times pi times the radius. In this case, our radius half is only 1. So 1 times 1 times the height of 6. So what do we get? Volume equals, if you multiply those out, depending upon which way you chose from above, if you multiply this out, this would be 18.84 divided by 3. You would end up with 6.28. And it is inches cubed. So that's for cone A. No change in your answers. So now who thinks that's going to hold more or less than cone B? Remember, you jotted down your guess. Do you think it's cone A or B that's going to hold the most? Because this one only has a diameter of 2. This one has a diameter of 3. But this one is twice as tall. This one is only 3 inches tall. Well, let's find out the volume of cone B. Volume equals 1/3 times pi times the radius. Now it's 3 across, so half of that, the radius is 1.5 inches. 1.5 times 1.5 times the height, which is 3. Multiply that all out on your calculator. If you were to multiply these 4, you would get 21.195, and then you divide that by 3, you would end up with 7.065 inches cubed. So the bigger one that would hold more ice cream would be cone B. That one holds a little bit more ice cream. Okay? So even though this looks like maybe you get the better deal, it's longer, taller, looks bigger maybe, this shorter one is going to hold more ice cream. Okay? So now you're able to go into your worksheet and complete your worksheet with all diagrams, with all labels, inches cubed, centimeters cubed, all that good stuff. Don't submit it until you've checked over your work to see that you've done everything you can do. And you know, I try your best to make sure I can read it. I know it's kind of hard to write on your screen, but please try your best for numbers that I know what you're writing, okay? All right, well, thank you.